Yeah. Second Life is great, though. I'll tell you, it's fantastic. And we have a lot of fun, and we raise a bunch of money for various things. Today, we're raising money for Relay for Life. This is really used to be for cancer, but now it's for people that are running away from the police, like Mr. Scott. Charles. Relay for Life, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyhow, so we're all having a good time here. Yeah, yeah. I got to tell you something. Avatar rendering cost in First Life. You know what that is? Yeah, that's diamond earrings, a mansion, a Mercedes. Servants. That's what Avatar rendering cost is. Yeah, yeah. The other day in First Life, I walked around and I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I passed a little wind light." No, that's not funny. All right, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to bring up Why Not, and I'm going to apologize to people because I'm going to give up my little role here, and I have to go get ready in First Life. Otherwise, I'd stay around. But I am sort of going off to see a movie tonight called Women in Gold. The sequel is
Woo!
Man Without a Wallet, but so here you go. Why not get up here?
Have
I'll get down
fun.
here.
Thanks,
I want to thank
Lauren.
all of you. You
Yay.
guys rock. Fun. And it proves that we have comedy in Second Life. We all laugh and have a good time, Yeah, there's a lot of bad comedy in First Life. There's no bad comedy in Second Life. Randy's still with us?
There's bad comedy in Second Life. Come on. But not here. Thank you, Lauren.
Okay.
Well, I guess this dance up here makes me have to sing, so I'm gonna have to la 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 la. Before I start, I have to say, if I'm gonna make fun of anybody else, I have to make fun of myself first. So I'm gonna do a few blondies.
All right.
A science teacher told his class, "Oxygen's a must for breathing and life. It was discovered in 1773." And the blonde girl in the back goes, "Oh, thank God I was born after 1773. Brunette goes, "Where were you born?" The blonde, "California." Brunette, "Which part?" Blonde, "All of me." This blonde walks in a bar and she asks the bartender, "What do you have on tap?" And he says, "Anheuser-Busch." She says, "Just fine. How's your penis?" Is that a bad word? This blonde lady's stuck in a snowstorm and she remembered her dad's advice. "Honey, if you ever get stuck in a snowstorm, wait till the snowplow drives by and follow it." So she saw the snowplow. She followed along in her car, and after 30 minutes, the plow driver stopped, got out, and walked up to the woman's car. And he goes, "Hey, why are you following me, lady?" She said, well, what her dad had told her. And he goes, "Well, I'm done with the Walmart parking lot now. Do you want to follow me to Best Buy?" This girl comes skipping home from school one day. "Mummy, Mummy," she yelled. "We were counting today, and all the other kids can only count to 4, but I counted to 10. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. "Very good," said her mother. "Is it because I'm blonde, Mummy?" "Yes, honey, it's because you're blonde." Next day, she came skipping home from school. "Mummy, Mummy," she yelled. "We were saying the alphabet today, and all the other kids could only say to D, but I said to G. See? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. "Very good," said her mother. "Is it because I'm blonde, Mummy?" "Yes, honey, it's because you're blonde." The next day, she came skipping home from school. "Mummy, Mummy," she yelled. "We were in gym class today, and when we showered, all the other girls have flat chests, but I have these." And then she lifted her tank top to reveal 36 C's. "Very good," said her embarrassed mother. "Is it because I'm blonde, Mummy?" "No, honey, it's because you're 25. This blonde says, "What does IDK stand for?" Brunette, "I don't know." Blonde, "Oh my God, nobody knows." I'm a displaced Yankee. I moved from upstate New York eons ago, and I had taught English in a rural community outside of Syracuse. But nothing could prepare me for teaching in North Carolina. When I moved down, I moved in with my boyfriend that I followed down, and we stopped at a gas station one day, and this young boy asks, "What do we want?" And Peter goes, "We want $10 of gas." And he pumped the gas, and then Peter handed him a $10 bill, and the kid's like gaping at the money. And Peter goes, "I said $10. Did you give us $10?" And he goes, "Yeah, but y'all got the same money up there we all got down here." And I thought, oh shit, I'm going to be teaching in Stokes County, and, well, Forsyth County, one of these counties, and this is scary. The illiteracy rate is really, really bad in the area that I live in. And one example is that the little store where I fill in, they put this sign up. It was wood, and it was burned, burned in wood. It was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. They put it in the window, and it goes, "Gas, drinks, and grocery is." And I said, "Grocery is what?" And my boss is like, "Oh, my God. Well, they all know what it means. Don't worry about it." She did take the sign down eventually. But anyway, I ended up getting a job and working with kids with really diverse learning problems and in an alternative school. Willie read about 5th grade. He was in the 9th. And one day I said, "Willie, come up here. I got you some jokes." And he goes, "What, Miss KK?" And I said, "All right, what do you call a Japanese Jewish restaurant?" He goes, thinking. "I give up, Miss KK." I said, "So sue me." He laughed. He laughed. I go, "Okay, Willie, what do you call a black Mexican restaurant?" He thought, and he goes, "I give up." And I said, "Not your mama." And he laughed, and he went and sat down. He wasn't there 2 minutes, and he came back up. Now, mind you, this kid reads 5th grade. He comes back up. He goes, "I got a joke for you." I said, "Well, what, Willie?" He goes, "What do you call black gourmet restaurant?" I said, God, I thought, and I said, "I give up, Willie." He goes, "Shay what?" It all goes to show that you just cannot judge a person by their reading level or anything. The kid was brilliant. He really was. Anyway, I want you to know that when you're doing women's jokes, PMS jokes are not funny. Period. This wife asked her husband, "What do you like most of me, my pretty face or my sexy body?" And he looked from head to toe, and he goes, "I really like your sense of humor." His wife goes, "Oh, gosh, I look fat. Could you give me a compliment?" The husband goes, "Yeah, you got perfect eyesight." This husband goes to his wife, "God, your butt's getting really big. It's bigger than the barbecue grill." Later that night in bed, he's snuggling over her, trying to make advances, and she brushes him off. "What's wrong?" he asks. She says, "Do you really think I'm going to fire up this big-ass grill for one little weenie?" The lady comes home from her doctor's appointment grinning from ear to ear, and her husband's like, "Why are you so happy?" And the wife says, "Wow, the doctor told me for a 45-year-old woman I've got the breasts of an 18-year-old. "Oh, yeah? What did he say about your 45-year-old ass?" And she said, "Your name never came up in the conversation." This guy goes to see a wizard. He says, "Could you lift a curse a priest put on me years ago?" "Well, maybe," said the wizard. "Can you remember the exact words of the curse?" The man goes, "I pronounce you man and wife." Marie is a devout Catholic. She got married, she had 15 children, and after her first husband died, she remarried and had 15 more children. A few weeks after her second husband died, Maria passed away. At her funeral, the padre looks skyward and he goes, "At last, they're finally together." And her sister, who's sitting in the front row, goes, "Excuse me, padre, but do you mean she and her first husband or she and her second husband?" And the padre says, I mean her legs.
Oh. Goodness gracious.
This husband and wife are trying to set up a new password for the computer, and the husband puts "my penis" as one word. The wife falls on the ground laughing because the screen it goes, "Error, not long enough." When Brian proposed to Joel, his dad took him to the side and he goes, "Hey, son, when I first got married to your mom, first thing I did was take off my pants, give them to her, tell her to try them on, and she did. They were huge, and she said she couldn't wear them, and I said, yeah, they're way too big for you. I wear the pants in the family, and I always will, and ever since that day, never had a single problem." So Brian took his dad's advice, did the same thing to his wife, but then Jill took her pants off and gave them to Brian. "Try these on," she said, and Brian went along with it and tried them on, but they were way too small, of course. He goes, "What's the point of this? I can't get into your panties." And she said, "Exactly. And you don't change your attitude. You never will." This man escaped from prison where he was for 15 years, and he breaks in a house to look for money and guns. He finds a young couple in bed and orders the guy out of bed and ties him to a chair and ties the girl to the bed, gets on top of her, kisses her neck, and gets up and goes in the bathroom. While he's in there, the husband's going, "Listen, this guy's an escaped convict. Look at his clothes. He's probably spent tons of time in jail. He hasn't seen a woman in years. I saw how he kissed your neck. If you want sex, don't resist it. Don't complain. Do what he tells you. Satisfy him no matter how much he nauseates you. This guy's probably really dangerous. If he gets angry, he's going to kill us. Be strong, honey. I love you." And the wife says, "He wasn't kissing my neck. He was whispering in my ear, and he told me he was gay, thought you were cute, and asked me if we had any Vaseline. I told him it was in the bathroom. Be strong, honey. I love you, too." This young couple's on their honeymoon, and the husband's sitting on the bathroom on the edge of the tub, and he's going, "Oh, God, how am I going to tell her I got stinky feet? My socks stink like hell. I've managed to keep it from her while we're dating, but she's bound to find out. How am I going to tell her?" And meanwhile, the wife's sitting on the bed going, "Oh, shit. How am I going to tell my husband I got bad breath? I've been lucky to keep it from him while we're courting, but after a week living with me, I'll be lucky to keep it from him." Well, finally, the husband gets up enough courage, and he walks in the bedroom, and he goes to the bed, and he climbs over to her and puts his arm around her neck, moves his face close, and goes, "Darling, I've got a confession to make." And she goes, "So have I, love." And he goes, "Oh, my God, you ate my socks." You know what the dirtiest line was ever said in 50s TV?
What?
"Ward, I think you were a little hard on the beaver last night."
Little hard on the beaver.
I was at my bank today waiting in this short line, and there was this lady in front of me, a little Asian lady, and she was trying to exchange her yen for bucks. And it was obvious she was irritated. She asked her to tell her, "Why, it changed. Yesterday I get $200 of yen. Today I only get 180. Why, it changed?" And the teller shrugged and goes, "Fluctuations?" And the lady goes, "Fluctuate people too." Have you heard about the crime in multi-story parking lots lately? It's just so wrong on so many levels.
Oh.
This man's filling up his car tank with gas and accidentally gets some on his hand, and he doesn't even notice it. And when he gets in the car and lights his cigarette, his arm catches instantly on fire. So he sticks his arm out the window and is flailing it around, trying to blow out the flames, but they're crawling up his sleeve because he's putting oxygen to it. And this cop sees the man struggling with his arm on fire, and he arrests him right on the spot for an unlicensed firearm.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
As I'm walking down the street, I saw this man with a large pole in his hand, and I stopped and I said, "Are you a pole vaulter?" And his response was, "No, I'm a German, but how do you name a name was Walter?"
Oh my god.
This naked man broke in a church, and the cops chased him around. They finally caught him by the organ. There were two tall trees, a birch and a beech, and they're growing in the woods. This small tree starts to grow between them, and the beech says to the birch, "Is that a son of a beech or son of a birch?" The birch says, "I can't tell." And then this woodpecker comes, and he lands on the sapling. And the birch says, "Hey, woodpecker, you're a tree expert. Can you tell if it's a son of a beech or son of a birch?" And the woodpecker tastes of the small tree, and he says, "It's neither the son of a beech nor the son of a birch. It is, however, the best piece of ash I've ever poked my pecker into."
Oh my God.
A midget with a lisp goes to a farmer to buy a horse. He looks over to the horse to inspect it, and he goes, "I like to see its teeth." So the farmer picks him up and gives him a view of the teeth. And then the midget says, "I like to see its ears." And again the farmer picks him up to view the horse's ears. And then the midget says, "I like to see its twat." "Excuse me," said the farmer. And the midget goes, "I like to see its twat." So the farmer picks him up and shoves his head up the horse's twat. The midget's legs are flailing violently, screaming in there. And the farmer pulls him out and puts him down. And the midget looks at the farmer and goes, "I think I'll rephrase that. I like to see it run." One night, this police woman pulls over this drunk man, and she politely asks him to step out of the car. And then she tells him, anything you say can and will be held against you." And he replies, "Breasts." "Doctor, you're overweight." Patient, "I want a second opinion." Doctor, "Okay, you're ugly too."
That's, hey, I tell you, that's my joke. That's a Rodney joke.
My smart-ass friend said onions were the only food that can make you cry, so I threw a coconut in his fucking face. Oh, excuse me, I said a bad word.
Oh, you said a naughty word.
A bad word. I hope I didn't lose all the money we won. Okay. This man's fishing and he catches an alligator. The crocodile says, "Please let me go. I'll grant you any wish you desire." And the man says, "Okay. I wish my penis could touch the ground." And the crocodile bit his legs off. Is penis a bad word? I don't know bad words. I'm from a bad family. Why do the French eat escargot? They don't like fast food.
Oh.
What did the cannibal do after he dumped his girlfriend? He wiped his bum. Ooh, that was a really dirty joke, and it'd probably lose all our money. There was a baby mosquito, and it was his first day out to fly away from home. And when he came back, his daddy mosquito said, "How was your journey?" And the baby said, "Oh, man, it went great. Everybody was clapping for me." This young woman was taking golfing lessons. She just started playing her first round, but she got a bee sting. Her pain was so bad, she decided to go back to the clubhouse for medical assistance. When the golf pro saw her, he goes, "You're back early. What's wrong?" "I was stung by a bee," she said. "Where?" he asked. "Between the first and second hole," she said. He goes, "Oh, God, your stance is far too wide." Two nuns from Ireland come to tour New York City, and they hear that Americans eat dogs, so they agree they're going to try it when they come here. And when they're walking around in New York, they hear, "Hot dogs, get your hot dogs." So they run over to get one, and the first nun opens hers up. Her face turns completely white, and she goes, "Oh my God, what part did you get?" You know where you get virgin wool from? Ugly sheep.
Oh.
Monica Lewinsky walked into a dry cleaner, but the old man behind the counter was really hard of hearing, and he didn't understand her request. So he said, "Come again?" And she said, "No, it's mustard this time." Two little brothers get up one morning, and the first little brother says to the second little brother, "Hey, what you going to do today?" Second little brother says, "I don't know. What you going to do?" And the first little brother says, "I think I'll cuss." The second little brother goes, what you going to say? And the first little brother says, I'm going to say, God damn. Can I say that? Anyway, second little brother goes, I'm going to cuss too. And first little brother goes, what you going to say? And he said, I'm going to say, you bet you ass. So they slap high fives and run down to breakfast. And the mom goes, okay, Billy, what would you like for breakfast? And Billy says, I'll have some goddamn cornflakes, please. And she slaps him and drags him by his ear up the stairs, washes his mouth out with soap and leaves him and comes back. And she goes, Bobby, honey, what would you like? And he goes, I don't know, but you can bet your ass it ain't going to be cornflakes. This little kid's out trick-or-treating on Halloween, and he's dressed as a pirate. He rang the doorbell, and the door was opened by this lady. Oh, how cute, a little pirate. And where are your buccaneers? And the boy goes, under my bucking hat. My brother hates school. He got caught skipping the other day. The principal said, walk around normal next time, you fruitcake. This woman gets on a bus with her baby, and the bus driver says, that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen. Oh, God. And the woman goes to the back, and she sits down really pissed off. And she says to the man next to her, that driver insulted me. And the man goes, look, you go up right up there and tell him off. Go ahead, I'll hold your monkey for you. This elderly man's telling his neighbor, I just bought this new hearing aid. It cost me $4,000, but it's state of the art. It's perfect. Really? Answered the neighbor. What kind is it? 1230. And unless I'm needed later, my last joke is, upon hearing her elderly grandfather passed away, this woman went to her grandparents' house to visit her 95-year-old grandmother and to comfort her. And when she asked how Grandpa died, the grandma said, he had a heart attack while we were making love on Sunday morning. Obviously shocked, the woman told her grandmother 2 people having sex when they're nearly 100 would just be asking for trouble. Oh, no, my dear, said Granny. Many years ago, realizing our advanced age, we figured the best time to do it Sunday morning when the church bells would start to ring. It's just the right rhythm. Nice and slow and even. Nothing too strenuous. Simply in on my ding, out on my dong. She paused to wipe a tear, and she said, he'd still be alive today if the ice cream truck didn't come along. Oh, I said a bad word again. I might have lost all of my money, everybody. But at least I was funny. I can't get off the stage. Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, why not?
What? I
we
got to go
have-
the other way.
No, why not?